Hey guys, we're gonna be doing kind of a vlog video of our trip to Oregon. We got to do a lot of fun things for the Northwest Trek. This morning we're about to go do some orca watching, hopefully in the South Puget Sound. We're at our hotel this morning. Had a crazy flight in last night. We got here last night, the plane said we might have to do an emergency landing because we might be out of gas soon and there might be an event at the runway that prevents us from landing on time. So we might be looking at alternative landing routes. So we got our heart going, we got to pray a little bit. Everything ended up great. We had an awesome time at the Northwest Trek. I'm going to throw some clips of that in here. Hopefully some cool orca stuff. And don't forget, we're going to be showing you around Buchholz Nursery.
Hey guys, so I'm going to give you a little bit of a voiceover here. We got to do a lot of fun stuff on this trip. One of the things we went to was the Northwest Trek, which is in Washington State. It's a natural preserve, really cool. They have a lot of native animals to the Pacific Northwest there. It's a big fenced-in area. Really cool. We took the Keepers tour, and just a really fun thing to actually see. It's a wildlife park. Really interesting. 725 acres, and they're wild. I mean, they're in there. They're not too wild, but they're maintained bison, moose, all kinds of animals. Some big Roosevelt elk. So I wanted to share a little bit of our trip with you. I took my wife on this trip. It was 1 year after we purchased Buchholz. We went last year for our anniversary and got to do a little bit of whale watching. Got to take mom and dad on some whale watching this year, so Amy was pretty jealous, so I promised her a trip back out there. And my mother-in-law just recently had a birthday, so for her birthday I took her back out there as well. And my wife likes to animal watch a lot, so I thought I'd share a little bit of this with you. Some really cool mountain goats. There's a ton of crazy animals in here to see. The Keepers tour was pretty cool. We got to go around and see a lot of it. We actually found this place because our kids watch Blippi on YouTube, which is a goofy kids show. But he went here and we just really wanted to go. It was really cool seeing the bison this up close. We're basically in that big Jeep. We had one other couple in there with us. So it was just the 5 of us in there. We got to go around and get really close to these animals. This is a big male bison. Really impressive animals to get that close to. And just pretty cool. Now, there's a whole herd of them in there. You kind of just travel around and get to see stuff. I'm going to show you all a little bit of this trip, from orcas to humpback whales to Canyon Beach, and of course a little bit at Buchholz Nursery too. So stay tuned. There'll be some maples in here for you guys as well. But I wanted to share a little bit of this crazy vacation because we got to go and see, moose up close. These are 2 female moose. It was really cool to get to kind of just interact and go around and see these things. And you get really right up with animals. I mean, it's crazy. There's also a lot of Acer circinatum all around here. So there's the Northwest native, the Pacific Northwest native, the vine maple. And they're everywhere throughout here. I would imagine this would be gorgeous if you get the right fall time. Big grizzly there behind us. Now, the main purpose for taking my wife on this trip was to get on this boat and to get out and see some orcas. And man, did we get lucky. They said not every time they go out. They said about 1 out of every 7 trips when they go out on this, they actually see orcas. Well, we got lucky. We hit orcas, and not only did we hit orcas, we got to see a humpback whale. One of the crazier things while we were out there was just getting out, seeing the mountains from the shoreline here. We're in the South Puget Sound. You can see the snow on Baker Mountain. A lot of times they have to drive all the way into Canada to catch some native wildlife. I kind of ran around the boat so you could just see this. This is on the South Puget Sound Express. Pretty cool. They got us some buckleberry, which is like this local delicacy, kind of a sweet little cake. We got to enjoy some of that, some hot coffee. And the weather wasn't too bad. So we basically rode around. Here's a big viewing stadium, so you kind of hang out here. And it was pretty cool because the row we were on, the guy who does all the announcements for what you're looking at happened to come on our row. So we kind of had a little private tour. We could ask him a ton of questions. And not only did we run into orcas, we had 2 orcas hunting. Yeah, here's a little bit of that coffee and buckleberry. Highly recommend that if you're in the area. Pretty good stuff. And then the orcas show up. Now, you really won't get to notice much from this video. Like, I'm shooting a lot of this on my phone and a GoPro. But there were 2 orcas, a male and a female. There's a pod of them here. These are the only 2 of the pod we saw. But we kind of just followed them down through the South Puget Sound a little bit. And the craziest part is they started changing directions because they were hunting. And so we got to see these 2 orcas actually take down and hunt sea lions. So these 2 actually caught a sea lion. It wasn't like National Geographic. It wasn't very graphic. Like, you didn't see them eating it. But at one point you saw a sea lion poke up beside him real quick and he wasn't too happy. And it was these 2 orcas were literally hunting him. So pretty crazy thing to encounter there. A A lot of people live in this area and never even get to see orcas, so that was special. Our tour guide was like, this never happens. And then on top of that, we got to see a humpback whale, so that was crazy. Really just trip of a lifetime. If you're out there, you know, we like to make these trips to the Pacific Northwest now and kind of adventure around since we get to go out there for Buchholz, so it kind of gives me a playground to go and explore. Thought I'd kind of give you a little bit of a vlog, share a little bit of what I get to see when I go out there. This was the extra special part. Since we got to see the whales right away, we got to go and look for a humpback. And so they had reports of a humpback whale in the area. We hightailed it back to another area, pun intended, and there was a humpback whale. We didn't get to see a fluke like we did with my parents when I took them to see the gray whales in Depot Bay. Didn't put the tail all the way up because he was just kind of cruising through the bay, so he's kind of making speed. But we got to spend, gosh, probably an hour with the orcas, maybe more, and probably an hour watching this humpback whale. So it was just really a cool experience. I didn't get the perfect shot, but at one point Baker Mountain's got the snow in the background there, and the humpback whale lines up with it just perfectly, and we're all just oohing and ahhing. Really cool. So if you ever get a chance to do that, definitely go check it out. And next, we're pretty much on to Buchholz Nursery.
Hey y'all, we got to see sea lions, and we got to see orcas, and we got to see humpback whales today.
And the orcas were hunting?
And the orcas were hunting. It was awesome.
Hey y'all, it's Tim. I'm gonna jump in here in the part about Buchholz Nursery because I love Japanese maples. I know y'all do too. That's why you're watching this channel, MrMaple Show here on YouTube. Y'all, we've got trees galore, and they've been grafting like crazy at Buchholz Nursery. We've grafted over 50,000, almost 60,000 palmatums here during the summertime.
Yeah, I was just kind of going and observing what all's been going on, checking it out. We're about to head back out there and do some more of this. Looks like the graft yields are phenomenal. You know, we went big with our grafted numbers this year, so you're going to see a lot of great plants in production there. All the classics from Buchholz Nursery and MrMaple, and new things you haven't even heard about yet in heavy production here. So this was midsummer, so all the grafts weren't even in here yet. So we were kind of going through inspecting them. We'll find the things that didn't take, get those back into a winter graft program. Guys, there's a little bit of red jaguar.
Whew. It's looking hot during the summer.
A little bit of signwood on there. Now, while we were out there, it was actually a heat wave. They'd had a 300-acre fire less than 11 miles from the nursery, and it got put out about 5 days before I got there. So it was over 100 degrees.
There you got Joel, the man there with you and Jordan and your wife. That's a cool shot.
Yeah, I took my mother-in-law around. We got to just check it out. I always hop on the golf cart and show people the grounds. You know, those gardens are so impressive. We're going by the Blue Forest here. There's so many different areas of Buchholz Nursery that are special. You really can't get a full grasp of how big this place is unless you get on a golf cart. Now, if you saw our walkthrough when Tim and I were purchasing the place, you know, you saw a lot of these plants. A lot of these things I'm showing are the big Tamukiyama here and the elephant, which are always fan favorites when you're touring the place. But what you didn't see back in the open tour was how much we filled this place back up. So there's a lot of areas with plants in the middle. We've really been working to fill Buchholz Nursery back up with amazing product.
Yeah, I'm just excited to see the place filled back up and being back with, you know, actually getting availability back again at Buchholz Nursery. Our goal is to get availability more and more at Buchholz every single day.
So this is one of our 1 gallon houses I went peeking around in. There's some treasures in here. I went and inspected. I might not tell you where everything's at.
I think I just saw some hot chickens.
There's some hot chickens. There's some red pandas. There's some kryptonites in this house. There's some yellow canaries. There's a lot of gold through here, guys. Things grow fast out there too. It's one of the benefits of Buchholz Nursery is there's 2 to 3 flushes a year. So we do tend to finish things a little faster out here than we do back in North Carolina.
I just saw magic moons.
Yeah, there's a lot of product getting potted up too.
Y'all, check out these wave leaves, man. Those are looking sharp right now. You can see that sheen to the leaf. Y'all, there's so many cool trees here at Buchholz Nursery. I just can't wait to get back out there and see what's going on.
You're in luck. That'll be like next week. Check out these hot blondes, man. You talk about finishing fast. Hot blonde's a grower no matter where you're at, but a Buchholz grown hot blonde, man, those things are beasts. We're out here in Oregon at the beach, walking around in the mist. That's a classic Oregon beach day.
Real sunny and beautiful out here. That's Haystack Rock. Pretty cool stuff.
Now, after Buchholz, we stayed at a place really close. It's only an hour away from the nursery. It's Cannon Beach, which is one of the most scenic places to go in Oregon. I didn't realize this was only an hour from Buchholz, so now I have a favorite activity when I'm in Oregon. Getting out here to Haystack Rock. There's so much crazy stuff around this rock. If you come here in August, there's actually puffins that live on this rock. I've seen elk, I've seen mountain lion in this shot before. It's pretty crazy. Started walking down to the beach at like 4 a.m. one morning because I get up pretty early and I'm like, you know, it's dark out and there's mountain lion here. I probably should wait and look, it's a little more daylight in this mist. So I waited till about 6 a.m. and traveled back down to Haystack Rock. And it is so interesting. There's all kinds of sea creatures along this rock. When it's at low tide, you can get in there. There's thousands of birds. There's just birds galore here that live on Haystack Rock. It's an iconic piece of the Oregon coast, and you can see why. As you get in here too, there's like starfish, there's all these little sea anemones, there's all these different little creatures and crustaceans that the low tide exposes.
We have made it to Haystack Rock on our way. We're gonna go to Buchholz Nursery later today and see some more stuff. I've been just enjoying a lot of the Oregon scenery, make an excuse to get out here and explore as much of Oregon as possible. We've got to see orcas, we've got to see a humpback whale. No puffins, they're a little late for puffin season on Haystack Rock, but we're enjoying Cannon Beach, getting to see a lot of cool things, trying local foods. It's been a lot of fun to get out here and explore.
There's just millions of clams and mussels and all kinds of sea creatures all over these rocks as you get down in here. It's actually really colorful. It's cloudy right now, but there's tons of starfish and just different things moving around on these rocks. Made it super interesting in the fog, all while you're getting that kind of classic shoreline of the Oregon coast going on. Such a cool place, such a scenic place. I definitely recommend checking it out. And again, I'm pretty thrilled that this is an hour from Buchholz.
What do y'all think? How's Haystack Rock?
It's beautiful.
It's wonderful and awesome. The beach is terrific.
Get us a fire going. We saw a nice sunset. And we're looking at the fog come back in here on the beach.
It's already happening.
Loved building a fire on the beach and enjoying that Oregon coast. I hope you enjoyed today's tour. I give you a little bit of a vlog of some of my travels, but a little bit of Buchholz Nursery. Take care, God bless, and have a great day.